Hello YouTube vintage stereo collectors and restorers. I'm going to let you in on what I think is the most awesome deal in hi-fi stereo going right now for a particular component. And this will make sense to you in a minute. I just picked this up at a thrift store. I've got a couple others of these, and these are sort of the end of the line for dual video cassette and DVD players. What does that have to do with vintage stereo? I don't intend on using this to watch any kind of video. This is actually, it serves two purposes, and you'll really be surprised at how well they work. Now, this is a JVC. It has a thing on the back. It was made in 2006. So it's kind of the end of the line. And you might think, well, they got kind of cheap by then. Well, actually, this one here is actually fairly, it's not super heavy, but metal bottom, metal back. And here's a couple things to look for when you buy one of these. It doesn't matter that it has VHF and UHF unless you want to hook it up to an old TV. But here you've got two sets of audio out, which is kind of neat. And you also have on this one, it has a digital audio and optical out. If you want to hook that, if you got a receiver that will accept that. What's good about having the two jacks is, let's say you do want to play the odd DVD on here, you can have the video and audio going to your TV and the audio going to your stereo, and you can watch a DVD or a VHS and have the sound coming through your stereo. Now, I'll tell you why I say this is a stereo component. First of all, let's plug it in. I haven't even tried this one out yet. This particular Salvation Army store, they love putting these killer elastics on their cords. The kind that can snap you right back and hit you in the face. Okay, let's turn it on. Oh! It actually comes on. This one actually has an LED display. And this one I picked it on purpose because it actually has on the front controls. So, you know, it came with the original control. So it actually came with the original JVC control. And this is somewhat important because there's functions on here that a universal remote won't give you. But you can also just say to yourself, well, I just want to pop a disc in here. So, for instance here, this is a Hootie and the Blowfish I've had since they first came out. And put it in like that, hit the button, so you can actually get it into play mode and to where you want it right from the front here. Now you got to make sure it's actually in the DVD mode, VCR or DVD. So it's showing you how long. It's 46 minutes. You can hit play. It shows you on track 1. You can actually go forward, reverse. If you have this, I don't know if there's good batteries in this. Oh, look at that. See, we can skip tracks. So this will play a CD really well. Even though it's a DVD player, it will really play CD well. And I've had several. I have a DCD 815, a Denon, which I really like for a CD player. And this will sound as good. It'll be very hard to tell the difference. And for instance, let's say you want to do something, how do I put it? You can actually have your CD player over to the left. You can play stuff in there. You can cue another one up in here. It's like having a backup player. But if you're looking for a really entry-level CD player, but that works really well and is enjoyable to use, this was $15. And the tray works good. And what I like about these later designs, there's only one belt in here. It's actually right there. You can actually change it from the front if you're handy with a paper clip, because I've done it on these. They all have very similar drives, and inside it'll be a lot like a computer drive. Now, think, well, what else can it do? This is cool if you have never heard of this before. This is a hi-fi stereo unit. Okay, that's kind of like about the furthest. There's Super VHS, of course, but as far as the sound goes, these did a really good job of picking up. They had to improve the VHS tapes, because the way a VHS tape, and this is a brand new one. That's better. Now, about these cassettes, you're probably thinking, well, where am I going to get one of these, and why would I want one? Why would I want to record on this? Because the audio recordings you make on this with a $15 VHS DVD machine from the thrift store are almost the quality of reel-to-reel. You might say, well, how can I make that? Well, I compared to a TAC 3340S, which is one of my favorite machines, 4-track machine, and I'm telling you, what is cool about this, using this as a recorder, is this is just a standard grade 6-hour tape, 2-hour in the fast mode. These are still, some dollar stores still sell these brand new ones. I bought these, I bought a 4-pack of these for $1, and as you can see, they're in the wrapping. I don't know how old this one is, but you push the little thing. There's the tape. In a standard mono recording, before they had hi-fi stereo, the edge of the tape is where the audio was. The way hi-fi stereo works is, it's actually pulse code modulation in with the video signal. So it's there, you just can't see it. Now let's see if it likes this tape. Like, who knows how long it's been since this had a tape in it. And it accepted it. I find most of these work. The VHS drives and mechanisms that were made kind of at the end of the line are very simple. Some of them don't even have a belt, or at most they have one belt. That's it. So it's sitting there. So what you could actually do, and I have this set up downstairs, I have another CD player, but you can do it from a record or whatever, of course for home use, right? You run a record out into the input on the back, just the audio input, and you find out what the input is. So you'd have to go to, on here, find the inputs. They say, I just got this one, but there it is. So you'd go, it would be best to have a TV hooked up. You get it to line 1, plug your into line 1. This will record audio. There's no levels to set. There's no bias to worry about. Nothing like that. It will just work. And what you get is a low noise, high fidelity recording that is actually better than a cassette. And what I'm finding with cassette decks lately, it's hard to keep them working. And I'm a tech. Like, I find you put new belt. I just put new belts in a Yamaha, and I've got about 2 hours on it. It's dragging again. I found that one of the idler wheels, there's an idler tire that drives the take-up reel, is gotten hardened. You know, with this type of thing, this actually, I mean, it actually sets the speed itself. It's very automatic, and the results blow you away. I could record something, play back, but then we have the copyright thing. But this one's, the reason I picked this one up is it was in nice shape. Like, it hardly has any fingerprints on it, and they almost always work. Every one I bought has worked. And look at the audio cables I got with this. These are actually pretty decent ones. June '08. Somebody bought these to extend it and go component. Who knows, maybe they had like one of those big projection TVs. I kind of miss those because not everybody had a big TV in those days. And if you went to somebody's house and they did have a big TV, well, you realize it's like really cool. Anyway, so you've got something here. At the least, it's a very good CD player. And then if you ever try, and this is something, there's actually, back in the day in '84, that Techniques put out an actual tape deck that used VHS tapes. And we got one as I was working at a Techniques dealer at the time, and we got one as a demo, and they had to be ordered, and they were about $1,200. And I remember trying the thing, and this is like the coolest thing in the world, because we had a couple reel-to-reels still going at that time, and we did like demo after demo, and it was just like, can you believe that's videotape? And it's a cheap videotape. But anyway, you try it for yourself using the VHS as an audio recorder. You will actually love it. And you know, you can borrow whatever and make a couple recordings and play back whatever works within the copyright framework. I don't even understand it anymore. So anyway, I'm just going to leave you with that, and I'll give you, just to close, I was at 2 thrift stores recently. The one thrift store had 4 double machines, and the other one where I bought this one had 2, and this was the best one. And enjoy your audio experience.